Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by A.G. Hines Company. Exterior insulation finish systems. They are the way of the future in building, folks. Wood, stone, brick, or stucco, all with their drainage systems built right in. If you are building a home or a business, get to A.G. Hines Company. Ask the experts which exterior insulation finish system is right for your job. A.G. Hines Company, you don't get to be 100+ years old as a company, 4 generations, if you're not darn good at what you do, and they are. aghines.com to learn more. All right, let's welcome in the next group of panelists right here. Bob Hodge, Josh Ward, right down there, VFL Sterling Hinton.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you coming in today, Sterling. It's been a rough one.
We're going to stay tough.
All right. Best player on the field yesterday, I'll start with you, Kevin.
Yeah, so without question, Carson Beck, he's 24 of 30, 298
Let's go ahead and put them
yards.
up. I'll let you read through them. I'll just put up the numbers. Whenever you get them, Chris, you can pop them.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
298 yards, 3 touchdowns, but really his impact on the game was above even the stats. The poise, the slide, find receivers, whether it's third down, really had a lot of big gains on second down. The third down play on the sidelines, 3rd and 12, second quarter, he hooks up with Dalen Bell on the back shoulder. I mean, you couldn't throw a better ball. Just kind of a masterful performance, and he gets better week by week. With the landscape of how things are in the NFL, there's been 50 different starting quarterbacks. I know he doesn't get the credit, but eyes are on him. Not that he's going to come out this year, but he'll be a guy to look at as being a potential first-rounder next year.
All right. Sterling, you agree?
Without question, that guy was in the zone, John. He was in the zone. I mean, he made some passes that was just beautiful. And I saw him go from 1 to 2 to 3 back to 1. And for a quarterback to do that in that type of a game, that type of atmosphere, shows his poise that Kev pointed out too. Also shows his innate ability to understand what's going on in every offensive play. He knew where his guys were, and he got that ball to him in a pinpoint fashion.
Yeah, one thing that was impressive, it was very much in line with what Hendon Hooker did at Tennessee last year. His throws were in the position that allowed his receiver to make an easy catch and keep going. There was not a lot of reaching back, jumping up, diving down, which, does everybody agree Carson Beck was the best player on the field yesterday?
Oh, I think by far.
All right,
He made one throw to Bowers. Tennessee had 4 guys around him. He threw it before Bowers was even looking. He turns, the ball's right there.
Yes.
Tennessee had it fairly well defended, but it was that kind of throw where, doesn't matter.
Josh, I thought
Bowers. I was going to say Bowers' presence is a difference maker as well. Just him being out there sets up all of his skilled teammates to make plays too.
I think it's a good comparison point, though. I thought Joe Milton had his worst game in a while. He had been more accurate throwing the ball. Him as a runner, they've stopped using him as a runner again. There's no real run threat to him. But to me, the number in that stat that popped, Carson Beck, 9.9 yards per attempt. Joe Milton, 4.9. Now, that's on the receivers, too. You had Squirrel White right through his hands. But I thought the difference at quarterback yesterday was as glaring as we've seen at any point this season.
Agreed.
Yeah, one looked like he was totally in control. One looked like he's trying to figure it out.
You guys agree with that or disagree with that? Sterling, if you disagree?
Beck was in the zone yesterday, and he played flawless ball yesterday. That guy was awesome.
Yeah, so I feel like as attrition has hit Tennessee at the receiver position, at the tackle position, Joe just didn't look comfortable at all. And his performance, like you said, it spiraled into some of the things that we saw from him in years previous, throwing a 100-mile-per-hour fastball to a guy on a check down throw, like towards the end of the game, or in some of the big overthrows. Yeah. But to me, it's almost like pressing. Like people talk about pressing all the time, but like he was pressing, and obviously it didn't come up the way we wanted to.
Yeah, and it wouldn't have mattered late, but he had an opportunity on that 4th down play to turn left, run, wide open space. Didn't make that run. That's, again, probably back to decision making.
We're going to have to be very quick on all of these worst coaching move, and I'll just bounce around, Bob.
Worst coaching move is for the 3rd time this year. I think Josh Heupel was gone in the late in the 2nd quarter, playing for a field goal instead of attacking, especially against a team you've got to get some points. You had timeouts, and it looked all the world like, hey, if we get the field goal, that's great, and just gets kind of tiresome.
I look at it and think it looks like I don't trust my quarterback not to turn the ball over here.
Well,
so
and I agree with that.
Not that it's just a different variation of what you're saying. I mean, I agree
I
with you, it's not
don't
good.
disagree with that at all. I mean, I'm up here with Joe Milton, the guy,
Yeah.
but I'm down here with Joe Milton, the quarterback, and I've never gotten much higher than that all season.
Josh, worst coaching move, very quick.
Well, I would add on to Bob's. In this situation, you also have to recognize you're already down by 17 points. George gets the ball to start the second half. You have to recognize we got to get into the 30s to have a shot at this game. So a field goal is not going to make a difference in being able to catch up to Georgia.
My issue, again, it's a big picture thing, and I know it's not intricate. We'll ask these guys for something intricate if they got it, but I don't like the fact that you're at the end of the game. Does he have a clause in his contract where he gets dollars for points? Because I'd just as soon you throw into the end zone late in the fourth quarter than line up these silly 50-yard kicks and 55-yard kicks. And unless he's got some clause that says, well, if we kick 17 field goals this year, I get an extra $1 million. I'd rather you just try and put points on the board rather than kick field goals, but that's me. Sterling, worst coaching move?
Georgia's got to take the starting quarterback out in the fourth quarter. He played a great game. They played for a lot of different things. If some freaks would have happened, Florida State's dealing with that right now.
Yep.
He's got to come out in the fourth quarter.
That also gets back to why are you scheduling nonsense if you want to bring up Florida State. They lost their quarterback to North Alabama. All right, so Georgia should have taken Beck out. I don't think anybody would argue with that one. What do you got, Kevin? Worst move?
So on 2 of the touchdown passes, Georgia runs a mesh concept called railroad. So basically, railroad is where they run pick plays. Somebody's inevitably going to be open. We stayed in a man defense. Oftentimes, when offense is condensed, we're going to check to a zone, whether it's cover 2 or cover 3, because it's a catch-all. We stayed in it in man, and I mean, inevitably you're going to get picked. Like, it's something that you actually don't see that happens very often in the red zone, because people usually won't stay in it.
Right.
So folks don't run mesh in the not mesh, but they don't run railroad in the red zone. But I think that's 2 calls that Tim Banks would want back. Do a little something different, whether you check out and play 2, whether you check out and play cover 3. But there's no way to stay with these guys man to man when they're running the picks like they did. And I mean, they came free twice.
Very good. I tell you what, let's stick with the defense. We got the Stoll train coming up next. I don't want to give too much away, but I've kind of chatted with him before and I have an idea where he's going. And it's going to be something about the defensive decline and what the heck's going on over there. Let's get Marlon Walls and Kevin Simon and Mike Stoll back here to talk about that. We got plenty more. We got offensive creativity. We got some interesting numbers in terms of comebacks and trailing at the half. If you're someone who likes the in-game wagers on your app, you'll want these numbers. Come on back on the Sports Source.